Welcome back. It's 8:38, and we are deep into football season. Go Dolphins. But it's fantasy football that continues to pick up in popularity. While a lot of us obsess about drafting the right players and making the right moves, financial expert Michael Terrio says there are some takeaways that can help us manage our money better. Glad to have you, Mike. I like this correlation, football and money, and not just because the ball players make a lot of money. The first takeaway in this, when creating the perfect fantasy team for your finances, there are a list of players that we should model ourselves after, and start with somebody you know, he says, somebody you know well in these parts, like maybe Ryan Tannehill.
He could be a good pick for you. You know, financial plans, a lot of times too much for one just individual person. And people are looking for someone to kind of help with the play calling, put them in a position where they can navigate and come up with different strategies, and a quarterback's going to be a great place to start with that.
All right, well, Ryan Tannehill, big fat contract, so he's somebody I would believe in. And then sometimes we all fumble financially, which is why Doug Martin is a good example. Just keep going.
He's a great one. 2 years in a row, he had really tough seasons, and actually pretty terrible in Tampa Bay. But last year, he came back, he was the second leading rusher in the league. We look at that and say, there's often times that you don't want to judge your retirement plan off of just 1 or 2 years. This is a long-term process, and there's different things you can do to catch back up. One being, if you're over 50, there are the catch-up provisions of 401ks and things like that. So keep that in consideration as moving forward.
Jay Ajayi would be a good one also with the Dolphins. A couple of 100 yards, 2 weeks in a row.
Not a bad day for him.
Just saying. Next, this guy plays for New England. Okay, I don't like the Patriots, but this guy's pretty good. What is it about Julian Edelman?
Well, plans have to be structured, but they also have to be flexible.
Right.
And I like the views in him because in college he was a quarterback. But to make the NFL, he had to become a wide receiver. He wouldn't have made it, and he's done a great job, changing things up. Same thing with your financial plan. We're gonna be throwing curveballs.
Right.
You may change careers. Something different may happen within your family. So we want something structured but flexible enough to put you in a position.
Got to be flexible, right?
Absolutely.
Still putting that fantasy team together. Rob Gronkowski, another Pats player, but he's not a bad pick. Why?
He's free money. I mean, he's one of the highest point people out on the fantasy football right now.
Right.
So if you're trying to make money, go for it. Same thing with your 401k. Many companies are still matching now. We've seen that kind of come back into style. Make sure you're putting enough money into your 401k. You can get that free money in that match. If you can't put 10 to 15% in, at least get that free money.
All right. Yeah, I like the way you're doing this.
Yeah.
Fifth and final player we can all take away something from is Adam Vinatieri. He's with the Colts, but he's a former Pats player. So you got something going with the Pats here anyway.
It's not me. I'm a Vikings fan. It's a very lonely place to be. No, he's long-term.
Yes.
He's 43 years old. He's the oldest player in the league.
Right.
He doesn't score a ton of points as far as 1 point here and 3 points here. But if you look at the amount of point total, he's third on the list. Same thing with financial planning. You want to make sure you realize even small gains are still gains.
Right.
And over time, that can really get you in a good place.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Absolutely.
I tell people that all the time.
Absolutely.
A team that is well-rounded, stacked, just like we like our money, hopefully long-term. Michael, thank you for coming in. Always a pleasure.